Today is day 230 of the year of streaming and learning to code. We are continuing on here at freeCodeCamp. Technically, we are continuing on here at CodePen via freeCodeCamp. We are in section something or other having to do with a random quote generator. Loading. I think, is that it? No, map doesn't want to show up. I mean, we have everything we need here at CodePen. We will be continuing on with the pen that we nearly finished yesterday. At least I think nearly. Sort of, it fell apart for like an hour and a half straight, so map. Ta-da, the first one. Build a random quote machine. Exactly. That is right where we were leaving off. And I guess we can check off some of these so far. So right now we are setting up our CodePen app. Yeah, check. And we can open theirs. I'm not opposed to that. Ideally, again, it should be something cool like this. However, sadly, we keep ending up with, well, we're learning, for lack of a better phrase. We're learning. So this is what we've got going on in the meantime. We've got our CodePen app up and... not even up and running. Up and rolling? More of up and scraping. That's better. That's a better visual. Fulfill the below user stories. Okay, give it our own style. Yeah, that's what we'll call it. This is style. Probably not what anyone else would use to describe that. It's not even what I would use to describe it. User stories, I can click a button to show me a new random quote. We are trying to successfully achieve this particular aspect, and I think that's a good transition point to continue on with our code. Now, we have, from yesterday, Mr. Elliot Judd was so kind, and he provided a nice basic guide for us to use to help kind of sort out a lot of the nonsense that we had. So from there, you know what, we should probably split up a lot of this stuff. Quote box, quote text. No, the text goes inside the box, so that's fine. We'll be okay. H1. I don't know if we actually need H1 anymore. We could keep quote. There's nothing inherently wrong with that. And similar to Elliot's, we could do quote with a quote with a colon, just kind of lead into it. We should set up a paragraph, but I was also thinking of just giving the ID of the quote itself. See, it's the get quote. That's what I feel like I should have. Maybe it doesn't need to be a div. I think that's my issue. There's a lot that's wrong with this whole setup. Let's get rid, let's try and simplify this, shall we? Let's get rid of div class button. Do we want to get rid of this div class button? Maybe we want it in a different area. This is what we were running into yesterday. Yet again, even though we have our answer, I'm not sure what I want and or need, really, fundamentally, so to speak. Oh, and we were fixing this. We were just trying to get this to function, and we got extremely close. So let's go ahead. Let's piece together this nightmare right here. So, quote, he's got three things: container, quote, and then quote text. What do I have that's similar to this? We have container, quote box, quote text, then button, and then get quote, and no one actually knows what's happening at this point. So let's get rid of something. And you know what? His is good. I realized something. His is good because you can click on it and you get different quotes. And ideally that, I don't necessarily think there's anything inherently wrong with that. I would like to note that in their example, they've got the quote and then a separate button. So that's what I was trying to set up versus his is sort of switching out where the quote is landing. The quote and the button are sort of in the same, because it's tied to a click event in that area, the whole thing kind of functions as a button, versus I'm using the bootstrap button nonsense to get these guys. Huh. Well, which elements of that do I want to keep? I think I want to keep the button separate from the quote itself. The click event will be changing the text. It needs to be tied. So hold on, because now we're piecing. Now I'm coming to terms mentally after not suffering for an hour and a half as of yet this stream, like yesterday's. We've got a clean slate and most of our mental capacity to figure this out. We have our click event, which will be tied to the button. When we click on the button, we want a new quote to appear, but that is appearing in a different area, which is why I believe Topher was saying we need to tie it to our HTML, or our HTML element, which would be H1, possibly. Let's figure this out. Maybe quote and stuff will be the default, and then it will turn into whatever it is when we click on the button. I could actually live with that. That would actually be very similar to the map issue. Change text. I think it was this. Versus change data. See, here we have the message will go here. That can be quote and stuff. And then when we click the next quote button, here it's get message, ta-da, and then it would generate a new thing. Now instead of tying, it would be .html and .message. So ID get message, where does that go? The message will go here. BTN primary. I'm just not sure where that's landing. I feel like I know it lands somewhere in here. I feel like. Oh, and it's also inside script. So I probably need to set up script as well. Maybe I should set up script. It might not be necessary, but I think I would like to put a script section in there. Or no, I don't need to worry about a script section because I have a JavaScript section already. See all this confusion? This isn't covered in the courses. Either at freeCodeCamp or a Code War, especially Code Wars, or a Code Academy, the sort of extra project things, it's just, you're definitely left to your own devices. Which is a blessing and a curse. If you survive, it's fantastic. If you survive. Otherwise, you end up like me, confused for days on end. Let's go ahead and set up. So, that was the first one. The next one, this was changed with a click event. This was... all kinds of stuff was happening. On message, HTML. Row center. Column extra small 12. We've got IDs in class. Yeah, we'll be fine. We'll figure it out. We will figure it out. We're right there. Again, let's clean up our div nightmare. What do we actually need? We've got our container. We've got, which might be needed or might not be needed, but we're going to pretend it is. So that's one div. We have our quote box, which will house all of our stuff. Similar to they've got their single box holding everything. Monkey see, monkey do. Quote text, that is the bulk of what we are going to be dealing with, which is an H1 element. So quote and stuff can be the current placeholder. So what is the current placeholder here? It is, the message will go here, which is similar to this. Div class, the message will go here, div, div, div. So, I guess that's the other thing, is I guess I don't, if I'm setting up the div in the class, I don't really need to give the parenthesis tags or the H1 tags. What happens if we tinker with H1 stuff here? Ah, so it still respects that. Fascinating. Okay. So quotes aren't necessary. So it's merely affecting whatever is tied to that div. And it's attaching on via its class, I think. Get message. So document.ready, get message. So when it clicks, when there's a click event on get message down here, which is the button, when that gets clicked, then dot message, which is somewhere there's a message tag or ID or something. Oh, it's here. That's what it was. I was looking, well, extra small 12, well, message. I'm not sure. I feel like there should be an ID somewhere because it's got the dot message, but either way, HTML, here is the message. So it's tying those things together. It's stored within this, and it's tied to those different things via that. And that's what's happening here in Elliot's suggestion. It's tied to the click event on the quote div, and what it's changing here is the quote text on text, quotes with index, and then it's random based off all of this. So I need to... I think most of yesterday's frustration and loss came from my just genuine lack of understanding, misguidance, trying to bite off more than I can chew. Now that we've had a day to think about it, process it, we have all of the clear-cut guides, I think we have a much better understanding of what we need to do. Okay, so with that said, we were looking at our div classes, and we were going to try and simplify it, similar to Elliot's recommendation. Not quite just the two, because, again, he's got the single button/div combo in his. We are trying to keep our quote separate, and our new quote button separate, same with, and also tie in the tweet functionality. So we've got our scary base model here. Hey, How Tech Productions. Bop, boop, one of those. Yes, I agree. I agree. Hopefully your Friday is going well. We are just here trying to clean up our code, bring some peace of mind and clarity to this freaking nightmare. We are so very, very close. We were trying to figure out which things we want to keep. So we've got quote box and quote text. We can keep button, because that's going to be a separate beast. And quote text. So quote text is fine. We already have the class for quote text. We don't need to add another class to H1, because H1 lives inside of quote text. So that's surprisingly okay. I wonder if the div... No, the div class button is fine. It's within the same box that houses quote. How Tech Production, how's it going? My Friday is going infuriatingly frustrating. That's awful. We're in the same boat. I mean, we're not quite there. Yesterday was like an hour and a half of piecing this nightmare together, which it's not even an impressive nightmare to take on, but there was a lot of suffering. Today we've got a much better outlook, though, mainly because we can see the end. We have the end in sight. It's just getting there. But hopefully your Friday gets slightly better in the near future. So, as we were tinkering here, we can leave H1, ta-da, right there. So all we need is the proper div class references, and we can just leave that. So that'll be your placeholder, and then we click get message, ta-da, here's the message. Look at that, way cool. So from there, we want to do the exact same thing with our code. We've got our div class quote text, this guy. And then we've got our buttons and crap. Get quote. Do we actually need get quote? I don't think we do. I think this is what's causing issues. Maybe it's how we have it all tied together. So on getQuote, because we have button for formatting just to visualize. We really don't need the blue formatting box anymore, but I can live with it in the meantime. The next div is getQuote, which is good because then we have our tweet quote button as well. So we will keep those. We will keep that. Then the button has its own class and the font awesome stuff. That's how we got the Twitter logo for the tweet button. Okay, so we will keep all of this. This is mostly okay. Our issue is with our JavaScript then. It's not set up properly. That's what's going down. So once document's ready, we have document.ready function, then on getQuote, which is within our button class and controls the button, this guy, next quote. When that gets clicked, we have our variable, which we're calling random number. And for Elliot's example, he called it index. Totally cool. Math.floor, math.random times quotes length. Ours is very similar. We've got variable, random number, math.floor, math.random time quotes length. See, we've got our couple quotes in the meantime. Mostly placeholders. We'll swap them out with something meaningful later. I think. We'll see. From here, though, this bit, I think that's what needs to be fixed. He has quote text, dot text, quotes index. And here, in our example, they've got dot message, dot HTML. We'll try text first, but I think .html will probably be the way we go. Topher was saying to use .html. You know, we've got .html in there already, so what are we missing? Quote text right here. You know what it is? At least I think it's what the issue is. It, hold on, now I'm drawing a blank. Are classes or IDs the periods or hashes? What happens when I do? Yeah, that goes away. So class is a period. So class is a period. Okay. So the periods are correct. Then what am I missing here? Quotes. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Quotes index. And for us, it's quotes random number. So why is it when we click, it doesn't like what we suggest? Strange. Maybe we need to... Okay, yeah. So the hashes are ID. He did ID. I did class. I figured it'd still function the same way, though. Class versus ID? I mean, I could change them to ID. The reason why I did class was because I did class container and div class button, and then that way when I use Bootstrap for the CSS, I could just key in that stuff and it would give me what we were looking for, which it worked out mostly okay. Maybe we need to piece together the last bit of the nightmare down here, the tweeting the quote functionality. So when we click on that, damn. You know what, let's just comment that out for now. Let's pretend that doesn't exist. Next. No, nothing. Damn. Math.floor, blankety blankety blank. Well, super death. Don't mind me. I just want to see. Command A, copy. You know what? No, not that. Not that. Let's check this down here. This will be commented out. This will be the end of said comment, the beginning of our new one, and we will simply change it to a click event on quote something or other, get quote text, get quote. Save, get quote, followed by variable random math.floor, math.random, quotes.length. We can leave it as his for now, but if it works, then we'll swap in our variable. And now we need to change this to... So, wait, what the hell is quote? That's not going to help anybody. We want it as get quote. Get quote. We click on the button, click on get quote. Maybe it should be button instead of the get quote. Maybe that'll solve our problems. And then from here, we're doing quote text. Quote text. Yeah, see, that's not doing anything. So what about copy button? Huh? No. Still pissed. Cool. Let's try. So that's text. What about HTML? No. Button. Get quote. Well, damn. It's a cold day in hell. I'm trying to think of what else, you know. Do we need to set up the CSS IDs or the CSS classes for us to implement the JavaScript functionality on HTML? Is that crazy talk? Let's look at Elliot's example again. Container, that wasn't used, but ID quote and ID quote text. There's quote, quote, no quote text. Just quote. Well, super death. What to do, what to do. We can and should simplify. No, see, the text is stored inside the div, but that's not another div. That's just noise within inside the div. Versus mine's like Russian nesting dolls. Div, 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 6 layers deep. And here, their example, fork, is open div, closing div, open div, closing div, open, close, open, close. Not a whole lot of stacking. 2 at most. Mine's 8 divs deep out of the gate. Probably not the best way to do this. So maybe we should break it up. Maybe we should separate the buttons from our quote box. I just don't think that's necessary in the end. But I feel like it's just there's too much clutter for it to work. And the way I'm reading it, I can't quite process what the f is actually going on. It's pure hell. We can keep the buttons in their own class. Maybe we should have the getQuote div above the button class. That may actually help. Hey, Yum Yum, how are you doing? Hopefully your Friday is going quite well. Okay, yeah, let's move this. Let's take you, cut, and well, that was get quote. Maybe we can just get rid of button? Fuckers. Hold on. Why is everything terrible? Why does everything suck? Let's figure that part out first. Everything is awful because something rhymes with Steven. You know what? We're gonna continue this journey of sorting things out via Elliot's code, because mine makes people sad, and we're going to avoid that for now. Yeah, good. Okay, so there's that. This is commented out. Some of these, some of those. Yeah, beautiful. Oh my god, it doesn't work because it's HTML and it requires those stupid arrows to comment stuff out. I don't even remember how to do the arrow. What is it? It's this and like double hyphens or something. And then there's some slash hyphen involved. Commenting in HTML is the absolute worst. You have to build a whole frickin' sword-looking thing just to comment it out. What is it again? I don't even remember what the hell it is. HTML comment tag. It's the dumbest tag on the planet. It should be like JavaScript. Yeah, that. Yum Yum got it too. Okay, my bad. What are we looking for? Over here. Should be like JavaScript. Just 2 slashes, hit the ground running. But no, I gotta build this fucking thing. Get rid of the arrow. Add an exclamation. Happy thoughts, Steven. Happy thoughts. Don't burn the computer down yet. So, quotes and click me. Let's also briefly, and let's also check CSS, because we forgot. Hey, yeah, CSS right there. Wait, well, what the deuce? When you start, comment with blank and end with blank. However, CSS can miss the line comment. Yeah, okay, whatever. Good enough. We want block comments anyways. See, CSS and JavaScript share the same idea. Not HTML. Can't be part of the cool kids club. From here, we are looking for quotes.length. I guess that's okay with us because our quotes array was also called quotes. My only other concern is if we had some mismatch somewhere, but I don't think we did. Single quotes, commas, more quotes, commas, and that's all she wrote. Good, good. So when we click somewhere, it is my fault. Something should be, let's text, is what he had. Why doesn't his work? Oh, it's CSS. It's the CSS that's missing. That's why we commented it all out. We are trying to reverse engineer what works from his and what doesn't work for ours. So it's my quotes. We have his HTML, which is very straightforward and perfect. We have his CSS, which also works beautifully. Oh, but we changed. Hold on. We changed stuff. We had to alter his JavaScript, we altered his JavaScript to make ours work. So let's solve that problem by replacing now. It is still confused. Well, super death. Why does that not quite work the way we want it to? Yum Yum, what are we trying to do? We are, let's see. Long story short, build a random quote machine. It has a couple of features that it needs. Ideally, it will mostly function like this. It's got a quote. It's got a new quote button. Ta-da! Why don't you come up sometime and see? Wow, weird. Yeah, sure, but she something. Get your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape. So you click the quote button, you get a new quote. Shocking, right? There's also the ability to tweet it to Twitter or post it to Tumblr. So that's a thing. A friendship founded on business is better than a business founded on friendship. Words to live by. Now, something regarding that. This, oh god, well, this is the much cooler version than what we originally had. But that's because we were referencing what yesterday Elliot had set up. See, his, when you click it, quote 1, 7, 18, 17, 1, 7, 9, 16. It's beautiful. It works. It's great. The difference, though, is kind of the structure. He's got one button for, like, the quote itself. The whole div functions as a button with the click event. And we were sort of trying to maintain the separate quote, separate new quote button, and the separate Twitter icon to tweet the crap out of it. Right now, I was just moving over. I'd been struggling with my code so much, I wanted to try bringing Elliot's code over and implementing it here, but for some reason now, it doesn't quite seem to be functioning, but I must have not copied all of the stuff over. I must have missed something, because his works beautifully over here, but mine is freakishly stubborn. So that's what's going down. Let's comment this out once more. Oh, that won't work because it's HTML, as we just saw from Yum Yum. This is the proper way to do it. Thank you for the reminder. So there's this. Here's that. And this. Okay. Once more, we can unquote mine. Unquoting. Unquoting. Dee 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 doo. Dee 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 dee. This is what my beast looks like. She's atrocious. Here is where we are currently at with mine. Let me get rid of that noise. Yeah, look at that. There's a minor difference in quality, definitely. I'd say it's noticeable for anyone who has functional vision. You can kind of see the difference. But we're so close. So many aspects are so similar, but the result is vastly different. I think it's how I actually have the div classes stacked. I think that's what's going down. Something's getting all thrown up wrong with this. But why I'm confused is because I had everything commented out, and I just dragged his stuff over. And I'm not sure why his stuff isn't working, because it works great over here in the JS Fiddle. And I can easily extrapolate to the buttons and whatnot for the new quote button itself instead of just clicking on the div. So it would seem an easy way to reverse engineer since he was able to provide such a handy guide for us, but now we're running into some issues. What's going down? Yum Yum. Open the console log. Maybe there are some logged errors. Cool. So I would want to check down here, inspect. All right, there's that. No, not that. Inspect. Or the console? I don't even know where I'm looking. Perhaps, or you know what, let me close that. Also view developer JavaScript console. That's what we're looking for. Okay, yeah, it's that guy. Dear God. So clearly, that is a lot of red. Clearly, we're pissing someone off. Obviously, they don't like what I've suggested. So how can I fix that? I sense bad. I sense bad. Don't mind me. Have I imported jQuery yet? Oh, well, I'm not sure. I don't think so. I just thought it would all kind of work. I guess not. Would that be something similar to how I brought Font Awesome stuff over to get the Twitter icon for my tweet button? Do I need to implement? Is there a link of sorts? Or is that something I can do in settings or JavaScript? Quick add. Oh, quick add jQuery. Yeah, look at that, Yo-Yo. You're right. I am the problem, which would kind of make sense why Elliot's wasn't working, even though it was flawless in the other one. That's so interesting. Yum Yum, you're so good. You're great. What would I do without you? jQuery, so let's do that. Quick add, boom, save. Holy shit, it works. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh my god, Yum Yum. It was like an hour and 35 minutes of hell yesterday. I know my code's ugly, and we still gotta work on that, but dear god, at least it moves. You came in right at the end yesterday, and it was... Oh, that's all I was missing was jQuery? Oh my god, I think I'm having a heart attack. Holy hell. That is just... It's awful. This is how we learn. This is how we learn. Yum Yum. Yeah, learn by experience. Yeah, well, we are here to fall on our face, and we deliver. Face fall for day 230. We can check that off the list. Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. Why? Why? Oh my god. Okay, so at least now it... Happy thoughts. Okay, so that's cool. Let me actually, like, even though my code relatively functional, let me comment back out this. Let me comment that back out, and let me comment this back out. So let's try his code once more, because it was much more concise and straightforward and clear. A lot less confusing to myself, which goes a long way in trying to understand what the f is going on. Just to tinker, because again, we can I would actually rather modify his code initially before further tinkering with mine. So when we click his, we get, and it's going through, see all of our quotes, 1, 2, and 3, and it clicks. Look at that. Awesome. But now we need to set up the quote button. It's the two buttons. There's the quote button and the tweet button. My concern is setting up the Twitter thing. Okay, Yum Yum. Now you just need to implement the quote API, right? Yes and no. This will suffice. I know I could use an API that links to a site and drags in new codes and stuff like that. I think I don't... so anyways, the array will suffice for now. That's my workaround for the quote portion. I don't believe there's a workaround for the Twitter button, the ability to post. I think the tweet icon thing similar to theirs will require some form of an API. If we click on this, tweet this, ta-da, and it drags us over here, and it's doing stuff. I guess we could steal this quote, or steal this link, but I don't think that's really how it's done, or it would work that way, because we can see that it's, in my opinion, hashed with the %20 and a bunch of other crap. Not exactly what we're looking for. So yeah, Twitter hell. Setting up the button, getting the new quote button to generate a code like this. Click on the button, generate a code. I'm happy to tweak mine / his code. It's this guy, the Twitter button. That's what I'm concerned about. Okay, so where are we off to now? Something about hell. Back to this. So before, I had the quote box, the quote text. H1 was sort of the placeholder for quote and stuff. Then we had our div class button, our div class get quote with a button inside of that. It had its own classes. Blankety, 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 blank. That had a closing div. There was div class tweet quote with a button that had its own classes. You know, I guess that's the issue, is that I didn't have the div class, and the button itself was different. I set it up to be a unique thing. I thought it would inherit. Maybe it does, but I think it's causing issues. Pretty sure that's what's happening. Anyways. From there, what do we want? Right now we have our container. We have a quote. We have a placeholder for quote. Let's do quote and stuff that we've come to know and love. Copy. Quote and stuff. And click me. This, when we do click me, quote text, we click on quote, and quote text updates. We want to click on a button like this. Copy. Aha. And then we want to tie that, though. From here, we want to add a class, something regarding something. Button class blank. We need to set up the click event for it. So, button class next quote. How's that? Button class next. When we click on, we'll do next quote, copy next quote, period. When we click on next quote, there's this variable for index, and then quote text gets updated. Aha! It works! It works! Quoting stuff. Alright, what else do we need? We need to do something. Quote text, click me. What if we get rid of... We can actually get rid of this. Cut. Put that in here. Quote and stuff. And this can actually be an H1. Yeah, see that? And then we can get rid of this H1 tag. Next quote. Boom! In your face! Look at that. Yeah. Stupidity rises. Huh? Look at this. Tons of fun. Alright, let's see. What else can we do? Implementing the Twitter button. Same song and dance times Twitter. But I think connecting the actual API functionality for Twitter or whatever will be linked over here in JavaScript. Like, whatever variable we have here, I think that's what's going to be setting up the Twitter stuff in the other... well, I say other one. That would be... Other one would be right down here. So, continuing on, we want a new button. This button. Yes. Good, good. Come to me. This is fantastic. Okay, this is cool. So, tread lightly, Steven. No need to get excited just yet. That was next quote. Let's do tweet quote. Copy. Copy. My god, I can smell my brain cooking. Keep it together. Keep it together. Don't worry. Just go with whatever you feel. And everything will be fine. Wait a second. Okay, no. He was using ID. There was a clash of... There's an issue. Okay, you know what? That's fine. That's fine. This is a class. That's an ID. No problem at all. Not to worry. Because now... the stuff... quote text blankety blank. It's this. Something, something, something. Copy. Yeah. Tweet quote, which is a class. On click event, so that will do something. Alright, we're good. Okay. Yum. Now you just need to implement the quote API, right? Maybe, probably. It's a basic URI with variables. Okay, cool. What the deuce is a URI? Let's find out. URI? Well, for API URI? Why do we know nothing? REST. Okay, we've heard of REST. I at least know that much. And a warbear. Hello. Hey, warbear. No cat? Oh, speak of the devil, warbear. Ask and you shall receive. She sensed your presence, warbear. And now, no. Oh my god. Do you see what you did, warbear? Oh god. Oh, no. Princess. Just... okay. If you promise to sit there... and... I am extremely concerned, because we're so close. It's been 2 days of hell. Yum Yum's been guiding us now for day 2. Yum Yum is our digital Sherpa, okay? He is guiding us through this labyrinth of confusion that is my mind, and some code. Oh, you stupid cat. Now I have to move the box above and I can't see. Can't you nap on the bed, princess? Hey, no. Don't mind me. Kitty issues. Oh my god. Little kitty, princess, I love... No, just lift your toes. Lift your toes. Oh god, we're gonna lose the phone. This is not graceful. This is bad. We lost the phone. I'm sorry. There you go. Good. It's all falling apart. It's all falling apart. Nice. Holy hell. Okay, Yum Yum. Let's land this bird. Something about resting. Key abstract. Rest is a resource. Today's weather, Los Angeles. URI resource can be a singleton or a collection. What the fuck is a singleton? For example, customer is a collection of resources. Customer is a singleton resource in a banking domain. We can identify customer's collection using the URI. Isn't there a new... URI. REST apps. Uniform resource identifiers. Okay. That bridges some of the confusion. Warbear, https, twitter.com, intent, tweet, tweet equals plus encode, URI, quote. Yeah, good save. Let's go ahead. Do I type that out? No, I don't trust myself to type that out. We get to go behind the scenes. Woohoo! Behind the scenes. Ah. Yeah, okay. Great. We're loading. We've got our dashboard. And we need the quote. Not the quote. The link. We are extracting the goodness. Yes. Yeah, copy that. Good times. Let's go over here to us. We can drop this down a smidge. Paste that in there. I don't know if that's where it's supposed to go, but I'm going to assume it goes there for some reason. And yeah, good enough for now. We can close out of this. Good times. Okay, so we are... I don't think this goes here. I think that goes on the HTML side. Probably an AH reference. We'll link it. Something happens. Maybe. Quote and stuff. Yum, where exactly does one place the https twitter.com intent tweet text equals plus encode URI quote? Does that just happen by itself? Is that stored on the HTML side or the JavaScript side? Gut reaction was JavaScript, but I get a feeling that it ends up over here somewhere. Although we do have their solution available to us. It's just there's so much crap in here that I don't fully comprehend. Just because it seems like a lot of noise. Little kitty, I can hear you sucking on your toes. Do you think you could clean between your toe knuckles a little quieter? Just sucking up a... That's what I'm hearing. It's probably not coming across on the mic for you guys, but it's pretty loud and audible. You see her ear poking through? Yeah, that's her sucking on her toes. Okay. This is that encode URI thing you were talking about. So they've got their stupid if iframe thing. We're not doing that. We are just going to do the Twitter stuff, which maybe we're supposed to open URL. Maybe that, yeah, this. Maybe we should just extract that out. I think so. It's... I guess we do window or open something. Yum. You could use window.openURL plus variable. Yeah, no, I like your... theirs is nice, but theirs also looks stupid to me because current quote is tied to all of this nonsense beforehand, and we're not going down that path. We're staying on our basic simpleton path. Or that, or bear. That's what I did. Use theirs. Death. Okay, well, let's give this a shot and see what happens. Window.open. Window.open sesame. Well, they will look similar. That's cool. That is totally cool. No, I used... Oh, okay. You use what Yum said. Gotcha. I thought you were talking about their super over-the-top answer that they did. Here we go. That's borderline. Why does that still feel wrong to me? It feels wrong for a reason. URL, blankety blank, quote. Well, let's see what we've got. Tweet quote is a class. Quote text, blankety blank. Why does this... There should be another white one, I feel like. Like, if we were to extract that C, open and closed. And we paste that in. Ta-da! Beep-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. Alright. Well, they will look similar. No, I use... what are you doing right now, basically? We are doing a random quote generator, and I'm failing at it. And with flying colors. Your cat is so cute. What the hell is she? Oh my god, she's sucking all up on herself again, isn't she? Let me go to Obi. Yeah, she's just... She's cute from afar. When she's here on the desk and, like, pouncing around on the keyboard, it makes trying to learn how to code extremely difficult. Hey, princess. Little kitty. Yeah, she's totally lost. There's no way to interact with her. She's deep in self-cleaning mode. She's defragging her fur, her coat. What are we looking at? What are you doing right now? Cat's so cute. Cat, when stuff changes color, something is wrong. Oh, okay. Warbear's got a hint. Quote S around the URL. Oh, quotes around the URL. Okay, I'm an idiot. Oh, look at that. You're so cool. You guys are awesome. Good times. Good times. So, where was... Let's just... we will complete the quotes. I'm just verifying theirs. So, they did it around... up into the plus mark. They did it up until the plus mark, and then they had the encode bit. Look at that. Gotcha. Good times. When stuff... Okay. Let's see. My desk is full of paw marks because I clean too seldom. The cat likes to sleep on the keyboard. Right. Oh my god. Speaking of cats sleeping on the keyboard... Because she sleeps on the keyboard, I've got a wireless keyboard. That means she's activating the buttons. I fly through batteries on my freaking keyboard so quickly, even though I barely use it. If there were to be zero kitty interaction with my keyboard, the batteries would last for months. But I go through them in, like, weeks because she naps on them, she steps on it constantly during the day, so it's always active. No one tells you about the battery cost when you get a cat. Yeah, no, I had to learn the hard way. I should get a wired keyboard, but all in good time. So, anywho, but what am I thinking of? Good times. Yum yum. I'm allergic to cats, but I still want one. I am allergic to cats, which is why I'm always dying on stream with the leaky nose and the short of breath, half lung capacity. There's 3 cats in this household, and she refuses to leave this room. So, like 90% of the time. And when she's on the desk, I'm just breathing in fur. It's terrible. She is cute, though, so it totally makes up for it, but it's still frustrating. It's a blessing and a curse. More importantly, the code bits at hand. I did something wrong with something. That's what Warbear is hinting out. That's the wrong place, though, for the quote. Exactly. I bet the cat watches cat videos on YouTube. On occasion, she actually watches, we'll do, like, what's the BBC series, Planet Earth and stuff like that, on Netflix or other things, and she totally watches all of that, especially when there's birds. Any animal hunting something with birds, yeah, she just beeline for the screen, and then she's like pawing at it. She's determined. Clueless but determined. Kinda like me. Clueless but determined. I think that highlights exactly what's going on here just about perfectly. So, are my quotes still out of place? I feel like they are. My other concern is quote what I need, or should it be quotes? I feel like quote was just a placeholder. I feel like more specifically I should reference quote text or something like that instead of just quote. Yes, your first quote is in the wrong place. Aha! How about this? Better? It will be better. Now the next thing is the quote portion. What exactly am I tying it to? Because I've got quotes with an S as the array. I have the quote text for where it will be sitting, which is an ID. So hash quote text. And then I also have the actual button that triggers the next one. Holy it worked. Yes, good. Okay, but clearly something's wrong, because this should be a quote, not just an object of confusion. So, if I were Steven and I wanted to fix this, my spidey senses would tell me to do quote text. Let's give that a shot, shall we? Copy, quote, text, once more, next, run, close that once more. What's the deuce? Boo. wait. Warbear. It wants the text inside the quotes. So you might want to swap your quotes into single quotes. Oh. I think I get what you're saying. Let me first get rid of these. I'm 90% sure that's not what we're talking about, but I just want to remove any excess quotey things. Oh, and these are in double quotes as well. So to get rid of that, we need to do single quotes. Okay, good eye. I feel ya. That's cool. The other thing next is this. Didn't even spot that quotes index. Okay. So that's what's happening. It's quotes index. Is that index? Yeah, that seems a bit better. Next. Oh, look at that little kitty. Did you see? Of course, she's still sucking on herself. Ah, we did it. We did it. Look at that. 2 days, 12 people, 1 man and a cat. It's a good day to be alive, folks. This is impressive. No, I can, oh, boo. Stuff quote 1, wait. Quotes in stuff 3. So close. But we're on the right path. We are on the right path. So, something about something. Beep, 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 beep. Okay. Quotes index. You're encoding HTML elements. You need to encode the quote. Warbear. Why do you need to encode URI, Yum Yum? Yum Yum, because there could be special characters inside the quotes. And also, spaces are not allowed in URLs. Spaces equal 20%. Oh, and that's what all the stuff was. Percent 20, percent 20, and percent 20, and percent 20. Cool. Okay, neat. All right, so there we go. So that's interesting, but for example, Warbear, I'm reading my code all wrong. It allows spaces though. Wait, really? Yeah. Well, RL, what? Really? Yeah. What? Wait, it allows spaces? Does it? But I see all the percent 20 stuff, see? Percent 20, percent 20, that checks out. Either way, aside from that, what exactly is missing from the next bit? It quote and stuff 2. We keep getting quote and stuff 1. Index. So, quote text, quotes, and index. It must be pulling the first one. Yum Yum was saying, like, if the quote contains and, it'll mess up and won't work. So wait, Yum Yum, you were saying you're encoding the HTML elements. You need to encode the quote. Aren't I encoding the quotes? I'm confused. Guys, I think I broke it. Tweet a quote, which is over here. Buttons, blah, 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 blah. Quote box, quote text. Tweet quote is the ID. So that's what they have. Well, yeah, we've got that. We've got our class for our click event. But from there, it's pulling in Twitter, hashtags, quotes and related, plus encode current quote. So where does current quote exist? Let's find current quote, copy, Command F, current quote, E, no, I figured it would have worked. What about Command F, current quote? There we go. Variable current quote equals current author, blah, 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 blah. So it's just a variable. So maybe I want to hunt for index. But index is just giving us the number. It is quote index. Or quotes index. It is. I know it is. Quote index. It's got to be that. Quotes index. It does no good to just have, well, I can try just index, but it feels weird and sounds stupid in my mind. Let's do quote 3, close. Hey, alright. At least it gave us the right one. 2 is the third quote. Quote and stuff 3. Technically, that's kind of correct. It's not pretty, but it's semi-accurate. So, quotes. So I wonder why it doesn't like this. Next quote. When do we get quote and stuff 2? There we go. Quote and stuff 2. Tweet that. Quote and stuff 3. Guys, I'm confused. Did I do something wrong? Am I just... Is it a caching issue? Like a web browser thing? My spidey sensors are telling me that it's a caching issue in my browser. Okay, I missed a lot of comments. Okay, so... Warbear, I whispered that to you, to what I have. It works fine, but I don't know about special characters. Guess I could try Yum Yum. Okay, apparently it encodes it automatically. Warbear, like if the quote contains and, it'll mess up and won't work. Yum Yum, and has another meaning when using URLs. A Warbear at Yum Yum, is that to me or to something he said? Yum Yum to you. Yeah, a Warbear, yeah, so won't it think... so won't it think anything after and will be parameter or whatever? Yum Yum. RLs. can only be sent over the internet using ASC2 character set. Since URLs often contain characters outside of the ACS2 set, or ASC2 set, the URL has to be converted into a valid ASC2 format. URL encoding replaces unsafe ASC2 characters with a % followed by 2 hexadecimal digits. URLs cannot contain spaces. URL encoding normally replaces a space with a plus sign or with the %20, and that was from W3 Schools. BDX Inc. What's wrong? I wonder if the JavaScript encodes it automatically or if the browser is doing it. Yeah, it's working and it's not working. Like, the button brings up the quotes, and I should probably have more than 3 because I can click it like 3 or 4 times and get the same number. Like 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 1, 1, 1, 1. That was 4 ones in a row. So one, I just need to add more quotes in general. But aside from that, when I go to post it, it's now changing some stuff, but it seems like there's a caching issue on when it calls this page or something. I'm not sure. So here we've got quote and stuff 3. When I click on tweet, I would hope it would bring up quote and stuff 3. But now when we close it and go to quote and stuff 1 and go to tweet that, we still get quote and stuff 3. And earlier we were getting quote and stuff 1 constantly until I changed the index, until I tweaked quotes and index. When I removed it and just did index like this, it did return the index element of the quote that it would return, but it seems like it's holding on to the quote itself, like quote and stuff 2. So now that it's just index, it should cross return a 1, but it returned a 0. Something's up. It worked last time. There's a disconnect. I do think it's a browser issue for some reason. I think it's a caching thing. I know my code isn't pretty, but I do think it's slightly closer to the functional side than just all wrong. It was very, very wrong for like 2 days, but the last 20 to 30 minutes, I think it's been fine. Anyways, it does return the number in the tweet, so that's what makes me think that quotes index is in fact correct. Quotes index. I'm gonna go with the fact that it's see quote stuff too. Like when I change it back, but now it will be now it's gonna be stuck at quote and stuff too. Wait, what happened? BDX, what's wrong? I wonder if the JavaScript codes it automatically or if it's the browser that's doing it. Show where you construct the URL. Sorry. Here. Window open, stuff and such. It's yum, it's the browser probably, but without JS encoding, it only tolerates a certain number of special characters and then crashes. Warbear. Yeah, so if the browser so if it's the browser, it's nothing to count on. Yes. It's not caching because the URL changes every time. Or should change. I'm adding the wrong name. Too tired. Not to worry. It's close. See, it's there now. Quotes and stuff too. And when we close out, we do quotes and stuff 1, we run it again, it's still probably going to be a 2. Really strange. Although the link here is 2. Look at that. Quote and stuff 2. Instead of it being quote and stuff 1. So it is a caching issue. Quote and stuff 3, and it's still locked at quote and stuff 2. Look at that. BDX Inc. If it's a problem with it returning the same quote because you only have 1 to 4 quotes, could be. Let me add in more. Let me see what we can do to solve that. Let's do space. And what's a good way to go about doing that? Let's do this. Copy. Paste. And paste. And paste. And paste. 21 and 37 and 29 and 31, 26, quote 39, quote 22, quote 30. Let's give that a try. Next quote, next quote, next quote, next quote, next quote. We still got 30 twice in a row. We got 2 twice in a row. Quote 26. It's like it's behind a quote. 22, 26. 37. So all the 26s were open. Yeah, I think it's a weird, stupid caching issue. Yeah, everything's awful. I'm going to count this as a win. Alright, yum yum. If it's a problem with it returning the same quote, it's because you only have 1 to 4 quotes. You need to clear the on-click thingy. When you set another one, it's just using the first one you made, or... Fuck, never mind, too tired to think anymore. You know, am I right, though? You know, it seemed to me like he was adding a new event every time he changes his tweet. My brain's too slow to process his code now. That's how I feel. See, you guys are tired just watching, and that's how it was yesterday, and I'm clueless. You guys have the answers, and you're tired. Being clueless and sleepy, after like an hour and a half, I'm just completely shot. It's all negative progress from that point. Look, the buttons change, and when you click it, it sends out some quote, which, for my current standards, is good enough for me. So, yeah, good times. What are we looking at? Yeah, okay, brain's too slow. BDX, show the code again. Can you link the CodePen? Yeah, I can link the CodePen. Let me save it, too. Okay, we're saved. We're copying. Let me name it. What do we want to name it? We want to name it something or other. Random code quote generator. Although I probably am closer to making a random code generator than a random quote generator, but save. Copy. We're going to chat. Thank you again. I think this is as good as it's going to get. I can live with this. Oh, you Googled it already. Never mind. My bad. My computer's already loading the website. Don't even care. I'm gonna post it anyways. Hopefully. There we go. Boom. Alright. What am I looking at? I can't even think straight anymore. This is just... I'm gonna close this. We're gonna close out of that. A big hat tip to Elliot's guide from yesterday. That shaved off like 7 years of the war. Close this, close that. We don't need this extra stuff. We are finally starting to wind down, thank God. What are we looking at? So, put index global as well. Then only change the index on the next quote and set the text. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What? A war bear. Okay. We've got all our quotes. We've got this. Do I also need document.ready? Should I be doing that? Should I wait document.ready? Do I need to... Should I be that guy? Put index global as well. How does one make it a global thing? I know how to make a variable global, but how do I indicate the stuff? Oh, just move it outside the function. Cool. Alright. That works. I can be that guy. I didn't know. In my state of delirium, I'm questioning every decision that comes through my mind. There we go. There we go. Make it global as well, and then only change the index on the next quote. On the next quote. Only change the index on the next quote. So this guy. So this is sort of a separate beast. We have next quote, and when that happens, we have quote text or quotes index. Fair enough. Do I need to... I should end next quote then. Is that's also another issue, I would assume. Is cut this and paste that there. And this becomes its own beast. And then we have tweet quote, click, window open, quotes, index. Is that does feel slightly better? You should update the index before move tweet quote on click outside. Okay, so I did get, yeah, that's cool. Now it's outside of next quote. Oh, thank God. Let's do this. Next quote, 37. Why? I'm clicking next quote like 9 times. It doesn't like that. What if I change it to variable? Nope. That's really strange. I figured it would have... I mean, it does it once. It doesn't let me keep clicking. Oh, Warbear. Okay. What's going down? BDX Inc. Move the tweet quote on click outside the next quote. Check. Next quote. Housing that golden tweet quote. It's outside of it. It's freed from the chains. This is now global. Mostly okay. We'll set this back to let. No big difference between let and variable, considering what we're doing. From there, index equals math.floor inside next quote on click. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You guys are getting too cool for me. Hold on. I can see what you're wanting to do. Index equals math.floor. And then inside next quote on click. Oh, so am I putting next quote inside index, or am I simply taking all of this, copy inside like that back to where it was? Because I can cycle through now. You still... yum yum. Okay, got it. A warbear was right. The cat's now relaxed. Yeah, she's passed out. She's given up. She gave up on this a long time ago. Cat's now relaxed. You still need to change index inside the function. Yeah, good. Noted. Okay. You want to set the value of index. So no let index equals math.floor blah blah blah. Inside of the next quote on click. Next quote on click. Okay, hold on. Basically, let... Oh, that's it? Just let index function? Yum yum. Oh god, I'm starting to fall apart. Index equals magic. Holy shit. That's what it feels like. So... I want to believe this is like the X-Files. Everything hurts. Index and stuff 39. Index and stuff What? It does work? No. No. How is that possible? 21. Oh my god, it works flawlessly now. You guys did it. It's more impressive that you guys were able to guide me to the correct code than the fact that I ended up processing your instructions and eventually figuring out the right code. I mean, the fact that I learned what to do, or kind of, we'll call it, I don't know if this counts as learning. It just hurts. The pain is immense, but we succeeded. So function index equals magic. Did I miss something? I still feel like it's off. I feel like it's supposed to be index equals the click event. Is it right? Is there anything else we need to change? And it brings up 39. And when we click here, now it brings up 30. It seems perfect. With variable, this wouldn't have happened. Good to know. We can change it to variable. It was Warbear. What the is lead, by the way? It's supposed to be the new version of, or part of the new version of JavaScript, where you can use, instead of variable, you can use let, and it has to do with, God, I'm totally drawing a blank. I am so not the guy to ask the specifics, but it does have a benefit on like larger scale issues. The only thing that I can equate the way let functions compared to variable is in the difference how we were running into it earlier with double quotes and single quotes in stuff getting processed. We were going over the fact that this had double quotes before and it was causing an issue because the quotes also had double... you know what I mean? Anyways, let gives you more... It allows for more flexibility in establishing certain things and when they trigger and whatnot compared to just using variable and how it's stored and how it gets processed and blah, blah, blah. Again, I'm not the guy to ask, but it's a thing. There's benefits to it. That's all I know. So when Elliot submitted his handy guide yesterday, I just stuck with using let in his example. I was using variable in mine earlier, and I wanted to convert this stuff to variable, but I decided, hey, it's working, let's just leave it. Good times. Good times. Holy hell. That was a fucking nightmare. Yum, yes. With variable, this wouldn't happen because let is ES6 syntax for variable. No, it's okay like this. Let and constant. Why wouldn't this have happened with variable? Let. Ah, yeah, see, Yum, he knows what's up. Let is mutable, while constant is not. JavaScript didn't have constant before. I don't know. Warbear, okay. Haven't actually ever done JavaScript, so no idea. Well, for you are way better at JavaScript for have never using it or doing it before than I am, so hat tip to you, Warbear, for sticking to it. Dragging me to success. Yum, you as well. Your assistance and guidance is greatly, greatly appreciated. Seriously, I would still be here for a third day, probably longer, without the assistance of viewers like you. It's like PBS, but better. Because, well, I don't know. Actually, it's probably worse, but feels great for me. 22 and 2. Oh, God, that's so cool. It works. It actually works. 37. Hot damn. All right, well, we are not ending on a fizzle like we did yesterday. We are ending on a success. Let's go ahead and save our work. Back out. Look at our profile. Good times. Yum. Variable is hoisted. So function variable I variable equals 2. Equivalent to function variable equals I2 function. So variable is visible outside the block. It's global inside the outer function. It's only one up. Gotcha. Yeah, look at that. Hot damn. Success. D. Way cool. Good times. Tons of fun. Thank you again to anyone and everyone who stopped by to view the stream today. Today we had How Tech Productions, Yum, and a Warbear, and anyone else who may have accidentally stumbled in here to view the stream. Thank you very much. Any and all views are greatly appreciated. In the meantime, we are backing out into OBS. The adventure continues tomorrow with day 231 of the year of streaming and learning to code. But in the meantime, we are stopping the stream. Thank you again, a Warbear and Yum. Your guidance and assistance was absolutely essential for today's success. Wow, we can't think, and this is why we're ending the stream. We made it to the end. Once more, thank you. Are you sure you want to stop the stream? Hell yeah. Kill it.